What is up, everybody? Good morning. Good Saturday morning. Good Saturday, Memorial Day long weekend morning. Oh, and guess what? It's nice. It's calm. There's a big yellow bright thing in the sky over there. On a Saturday. Yes. And there's the lady that runs in Brewerton running across the bridge right now with the American flag. She runs with that flag every day. This lady is hardcore. She holds it in one hand and runs, and then it's crazy. That's pretty beautiful to see on Saturday, Memorial Day weekend. All of us that worked all week to get to here, I hope you're out here. It is a beautiful morning on Oneida Lake. New York's greatest lake. We're a Great Lakes state. This is the largest body of water within the confines of the state of New York. This is New York's greatest lake. Alright, so I live on the west end. There's the Brewerton Bridge. For not much longer, the old bridge will be coming down soon. That's 81. So this is my ride out every morning. I live about a mile downriver, and it takes me about 15 to 20 minutes, 15 minutes to ride down. And this is my view on the way out. It looks like there is little to no wind out there. So what does that mean for me? Okay, well, for me, I think that for most people it would mean probably start trolling if there is not much of a drift, or you start going looking for individual spots. So I may hook up the live scope and start sniping and try doing it that way. I don't do that very often. It's much more comfortable on a calm day. So maybe I'll go do that. We'll see. Saturday morning, baby. Keep your tip up. What is up, everybody? Oh, hey, oh, hey. Once we just spoke, it was calm and the morning mist was coming off the water, and it was so beautiful and romantic. And it was just fantastic, and you were like, you could hear the music, and Saturday morning, and there was a hush over the crowd. I power up full throttle right out of the gate, right underneath 81. Whoa! Off I go into the Saturday morning. Memorial Day weekend. And all of a sudden, I'm getting smacked right in the face. Boom, boom, boom. And a northeast wind that's blowing 10 to 15. And it's got a short, little choppy 2-footer. Boom, 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 the whole way. And I drove through it all to come all the way back to Snakeville. I'm telling you what, I see a snake out here again today. I'm never fishing out here again, ever. I stopped the boat finally when I come off plane, and I was messing around with it and really putting it through its paces. I just turned 100 hours on my hour meter this morning coming out. Just turned 100. I'm like, all right, you're good and broken. Whoa! All the way down on the Starcraft 188 DC Pro, and that 150 Yamaha, boom, it hole shots this boat beautifully. But it's a light aluminum boat. And you got to have it trimmed and speed all just right if you want to try and skim. And if you mistime it, or all of a sudden there's one wave that's a 3-footer, I'm not saying I did it, but I might have speared it because it come out of nowhere. And in the middle of skimming 2s, all of a sudden there's a 3, and you're like, ow. So when I stopped the boat, I was patting her on the, I was patting her on the floor. I said, good girl. I said, I'm sorry about that. and my only thought was the girl. Hair all messed up, and she's like, no, that's okay. Let's go fishing. Well, let's see what happens. I'm going to start deep jigging walleyes. That's what I decided I'm going to do. I'm looking for them right now, although I'm talking to you guys. I'm not paying any attention. I'm going to go find some fish and start jigging. See ya. Well, everybody, that's a wrap for me for this beautiful Saturday morning. Really was gorgeous. The wind is laid back down a little bit, thankfully, because it was gnarly for a while this morning, much more than they had really called for. Of course, they also called for rain this morning and thunder showers this afternoon, and it's been clear blue sunny skies. So I'll take it. It's a beautiful Saturday, and it's a long weekend. I never found them today. I caught 2 perch all morning. I didn't fish much. I spent most of my time looking for fish. And I went through 4 good spots of mine, traditional spots. Not everyday spots, but normal spots. And looked and looked and looked, and I just didn't see anything. And, in the immortal words of Captain Tony Buffa, I don't stop and fish a blank screen. I got to see something there that makes me want to go back upwind and get sideways and get into them. I never found that today. All day long, all morning long. And I've been out here since I left the dock about 5:30. Went and got gas, so I was probably out here by 6. Into the area I wanted to fish by 6:30, give or take. And I've been driving ever since. Driving, looking. I stopped a couple times. I found something. I'm going to say I found an old wreck south of 129. I spot locked on it and put the live scope on it. And it was stationary. It wasn't moving. I originally saw it on side imaging, and then I turned back around on it. And no fish on it. I spot locked and fished around it for a half an hour this morning, and I didn't, with live scope going, looking, and I didn't, hear a fish here or there, but there was no fish on it to speak of. Was cool though to see, and it was definitely sticking up off the bottom, a couple feet. It looked like there was multiple pieces of it. So my thought was an old rib cage of a boat. But I don't know that for sure. So that's my day. Water temp out here on the surface, I'm in 20 foot of water. I'm east of the islands, 62. It's been 70. That big west wind yesterday, and now today it's 180 degrees different out of the east. I don't know how everybody else is doing. My part of my guess is that I was looking in areas that the fish hadn't got to yet, because it had been blowing out of the west for a couple days, hard yesterday, so they would have set up on the west side of structure, and of course today it was blowing hard out of the east, so you go and look on the windward side. So I was on the east side, and maybe I should have been on the other side still. Maybe those fish were in transition. I'm not sure. I gotta say I'm perplexed, and I'll admit more than a little bit disappointed. I had high expectations. Expectation is the thief of joy. I have been very undecided this whole spring so far since Walleye Fest and getting back out here every day. Just haven't figured out what I want to do and where I want to do it. I'm still kind of floundering around, but today I expected to come out and spank them, although it was totally different than what I thought I was coming out into. That's for sure. This east wind, there was no wind blowing at my house this morning. Like I say, it was beautiful, flat, still. Misty morning, misty, windy, rainy. Well, misty, windy anyway. Whatever. Fishing's fishing. I hope everybody else got them. They're better than I today. All right, that's plenty. That's plenty of time for not saying much. All right, love you guys. See you tomorrow. Have a great Saturday. Keep your tip up.